And good afternoon, YouTube community, sports fans, nation, and worldwide. It's your boy Lex Anderson. You've entered the Sports Opinion Log, and you know what it is. I was going to get ready to make a quick brunch for me and my lady, but then the texts, the voicemails, the calls, the bookies, the Vegas odds makers, they want to know, Lex Anderson, what are your picks for today's championship games? Rams at Saints, Patriots at Chiefs. And I don't want to be like Alshon Jeffries and drop the ball. So I'm going to secure it, I'm going to hold it, I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to score and give you those predictions. But first, you know who has dropped the ball? The NFL. And their policies or failures to hire African American men and give them prominent head coaching positions. So if you go through my library, I had already talked earlier when it had occurred on Black Monday, the various firings around the league, and I am here today in this video to talk about those who have been hired, which of course are not African American men. So a quick recap on the Black Monday firings here through my notes real quick. It was, okay, we had 8 firings on Black Monday, and 5 of them were African American men. The Jets, Todd Bowles. The Cardinals, Steve Wilkes, after 1 year, 3-13. The Broncos with Vance Joseph, who in his 2 years was 11-21, and they missed the playoffs both years. A white guy, Dolphins, Adam Gase, made the playoffs his first season, accomplished nothing the last 2 years. Bengals, of course, as everyone knows, with Marvin Lewis, who in 16 years was 0-7 in the playoffs, and he should have been fired a long time ago, but they chose this season instead of the previous 16, whatever. Buccaneers, Dirk Cotier. The Browns, of course, with Hugh Hollins. Packers, Mike McCarthy. So we're going to get into the hirings. So the Broncos have hired Vic Fangio. The Browns have hired some guy named Freddie Kitchens. Of course, these are all white men. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have now hired Bruce Arians, who formerly was with the Cardinals, who, of course, you might have known a couple of weeks ago had said that Antonio Brown is a diva and he wouldn't want him on his team. And, of course, there was a Twitter exchange between those two. But the most damning part is that the Cardinals have hired some guy named Cliff Kingsbury, who has never coached an NFL down. As a matter of fact, he comes from the college ranks, Texas Tech, where in 6 years he compiled a 35-40 losing record. So I guess no prominent black men, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators deserve a head coaching job. So now we're going to the NFL ranks to pull up losing white male counterparts. But that's how it works in America because the NFL is old school, the old white guard, the old white boys network, which is a who you know system, obviously. Previously mentioned Adam Gase, the loser for the Dolphins, has now been hired by the Jets. And I'm sure you might have seen him go viral in his press conference with his crazy googly eyes where he was looking all over the place, looking all stupid and crazy. So, of course, as you know, he will bring to the Jets what he brought to the Dolphins, a losing culture. So, Jet fans, you clearly have nothing to look forward to. And the Packers have hired Matt LaFleur. Okay, there are still 2 coaching positions left open, being the Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. But a quick did you know stat, which is the most damning part about this, is number one, unfortunately, it looks like the new trending thing is to get quarterback coaches who are good with quarterbacks and make them head coaches, excuse me, which is stupid. That's what you have an offensive coordinator for. Your OC, he's supposed to be the guy comfortable with your quarterback because as an NFL head coach, your job is to coach the entire team, offense, defense, special teams. So I don't know, the NFL, the owners, the general managers, They just do it to themselves. There's no consistency. No one wants to stick things out. And what's even worse is like what I had mentioned before when the Buccaneers had fired Love, that Lovey Cousins, excuse me. Yeah, Lovey Cousins. That you have NFL teams who have losing cultures who are firing African American men without letting them have a chance to properly build or put their team in the proper direction in which they need to be in order to be a contender or a winner. So here's a quick did you know stat. Since 2000, the NFL has had 129 head coaching changes. 54 coaches were fired in 3 years or fewer. 32 lasted 2 years or less, and 11 couldn't even get past their 1 year. They did survive that one season, but they were promptly fired. So what does that say? This win now attitude, it doesn't work in the NFL. You have to grow, you have to build, you have to cultivate something. If you did or didn't know, here's another did you know, when I was watching an NFL Live and they talked about Troy Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson. Troy Aikman lost his first 10 games with the Cowboys, and Jimmy Johnson believed in him. He said, "You're my guy." Jerry Jones stuck behind Jimmy Johnson in his decision and who they would draft and who they would select. Can you imagine in today's league with social media, the 24-hour news cycle? It would be crazy not giving head coaches a chance. People are already clamoring, the masses are clamoring for Mike Tomlin to be fired. Why? Because Le'Veon Bell is an asshole diva who wants more than $14.5 million? Because Antonio Brown is a grown ass man who acts like a pampered ass brat who can't get his way and doesn't show up to perform for the team when they really need him to be there? I mean, like, you can only put so much on a head coach. But, like, when it comes to people, or more like African American men of color, we have to work twice as hard to get half of what the white man gets. Look at Jason Garrett. He's still coaching the Cowboys, despite people calling for him to be fired. But you know why? You got the old white boy connection. And when Jerry Jones is your owner, president, and general manager, it's safe to say he's very secure. Unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of Sean McVay wannabes trying to emulate his style of play. But guess what? If you don't have the talent, if you don't have the players, if you don't have the personnel, if you don't have the offensive schemes, it's not going to work. And unfortunately, the NFL is a copycat league. And speaking of copycat, the moment you've been waiting for, drum roll please, the NFL championship round predictions. You already know the stats. This is the first time ever. Top four teams, top four offenses, ranked 1 and 2 respectively. Great. You've been waiting long enough. Here it is. Rams at Saints, New Orleans. They got the voodoo. Alshon Jeffries can attest to that by his dropped pass, which became a game-winning interception for the Saints. Look for the Saints to get over the Rams. And Patriots against the Chiefs. This is a tough one because Bill Belichick, he owns Andy Reid in the playoffs. Mahomes is young. Brady is the grizzled veteran, and I'm sure you already know the stats. Tyreek Hill has averaged 137 yards against the Patriots, the most since the 70s. Brady on the road, 3-5, even though it doesn't matter because this is the playoffs, this is the postseason, the lights are brighter, the stage is more grand. Can Mahomes stand up to the pressure of such a big time game? The Patriots have that innate ability to take some unheard of, like Sony Mitchell last week, to make a running back or a wide receiver the star of the game. And the Patriots defense does just enough to confuse their opponents to scrape out a win. And the Patriots will play you to the clock hits all zeros. But let's see. I had picked for the Chiefs to lose against the Colts. I don't care about the weather because, come on, New England, it gets no colder than that. So I don't care about it being single digits. The Patriots know how to play in inclement weather as they celebrate the tuck rule, which of course was the NFL greasing the skids and screwing over Al Davis and the Raiders to get to the Super Bowl in the first place. So let's not believe the hype. Evil truly never dies, but can Mahomes be the one to end it all and put the Patriots out of their misery? Well, as much as I hate New England, I, the prophet, will decree that Andy Reid will finally get over the hump and look for the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead to end Tom Brady and the Patriots' run to get back to the Super Bowl. That's all I got. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you do the right thing because I will be back later today with the post game videos. Make sure you do the right thing and subscribe to this channel. And that bell icon you see to your right, ding, make sure you press it so you stay updated of any and all upcoming future videos because there will be more later today. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is your boy Lex Anderson with a wave of the terrible towel and a pop of the collar. I am signing out.